Tonight, Democratic candidates for president tried to snag votes ahead of Saturday's primary in South Carolina. But Super Tuesday, just a week away, was clearly on their minds. The 7 candidates in the race all fought for the final word.
But were they successful? KCAL 9 political reporter Randy Page is here with all the highlights. Randy?
What a night. All 7 candidates hit the stage ready to rumble, and at times they were leaving their moderators in the dust. From the opening bell, it was punch.
The economy is doing really great for people like Mr. Bloomberg and other billionaires.
And counterpunch.
Donald Trump thinks it would be better if he's president. I do not think so.
Former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg went on to give his explanation about why Vladimir Putin may be trying to help the Sanders campaign.
Vladimir Putin thinks that Donald Trump should be president of the United States, and that's why Russia is helping you get elected, so you'll lose to him.
The night was a mix of trying to knock Bernie Sanders off of his first-place perch.
If you think the last 4 years has been chaotic, divisive, toxic, exhausting, imagine spending the better part of 2020 with Bernie Sanders versus Donald Trump. Think about what that will be like for this country.
Bernie Sanders' analysis is right. The difference is I don't like his solutions. I don't believe that a government takeover of large parts of the economy makes any sense for working people or for families.
I'm hearing my name mentioned a little bit tonight. I wonder why. And maybe, you know, Pete mentions what the American people want. I will tell you, Pete, what the American people want, and Joe, what the American people want. They don't want candidates to be running to billionaires for huge amounts of funding.
Which led to this free-for-all.
Now, you've got people believing
over
something
50
that is false.
billionaires.
And candidates stepping all over each other.
I think we were talking about math, and it doesn't take 2 hours to do the math. Because let's talk about what it adds up to. But we don't. Let's talk about math indeed. Okay, so here's the math. No, here's the math.
Excuse me, can I respond to the attack?
I guess the only way you do this is jump in and speak twice as long as you should. Here's the deal. I'm not out of time. You spoke over time, and I'm going to talk. Here's the deal.
If we spend the next 4 months tearing our party apart, we're going to watch Donald Trump spend the next 4 years tearing our country apart.
Look. Michael Bloomberg described political disaster.
So let me finish. If you keep on going, we will elect Bernie. Bernie will lose to Donald Trump. And Donald Trump and the House and the Senate and some of the state houses will all go red, and then between gerrymandering and appointing judges for the next 20 or 30 years, we're going to live with this catastrophe.
Bernie Sanders fought for the last word on that one.
Mayor Bloomberg has a solid and strong and enthusiastic base of support. Problem is they're all billionaires. Now, if you look... On the other hand, of the last 50 polls that have been done nationally, Mr. Bloomberg, I beat Trump 47 of those 50 times. If you look at battleground states like Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, polling just
the polls aren't the election.
I beat Trump. And if you want to beat Trump, what you're going to need is an unprecedented grassroots movement of black and white and Latino, Native American and Asian people who are standing up and fighting for justice.
Can anybody in this room imagine moderate Republicans going over and voting for him? And
Absolutely.
You have to do that or you can't win.
Final question, biggest misconception and personal motto.
The biggest misconception about me is that somehow I'm defined by business success and money.
Okay, and your motto?
To tell the truth and do what's right no matter what.
The biggest misconception is that I'm boring, because I'm not. My motto, that politics is about improving people's lives.
The misconception is that I'm not passionate. I seek to live by the teachings that say that if you would be a leader, you must first be a servant.
One misconception is that I don't eat very much. In fact, I eat all the time. This is about how we treat other people and how we lift them up.
What's the biggest misconception about you, sir?
I have more hair than I think I do. When you get knocked down, get up, and everyone's entitled to be treated with dignity.
Misconception that I'm 6 feet tall. And quote, I've trained for this job for a long time, and when I get it, I'm going to do something rather than just talk about it.
Misconception, and you're hearing it here tonight, is that the ideas I'm talking about are radical. They're not. The saying that moves me the most is from Nelson Mandela. And Mandela said, everything is impossible until it happens.
So who were the winners and losers? Well, that will be up to the South Carolina voters to decide on Saturday's primary. But then it's on to Super Tuesday, 1 week from tonight, where California voters will have a big say who the ultimate winner is. Let's go back to you.
All right, Randy, thank you.